Welcome to video number 5. In this video, we install Resinex barrier, which is a product that I'm now using to close up the gigantic holes in automotive doors. Now, you may have known that it's important to close these up, and I've used a variety of materials over the years, but let me explain why Resinex barrier is superior. As you can see, the end results perfectly fit and mold to the undulations. So let's get started. All right, now we're down to one of the more exciting things that we're going to accomplish, and that is the barrier. And this is the barrier. Now this might seem like, is it that special? But this weighs 30 pounds, one roll. And that one sheet is going to do both of these holes on both doors, have a little less left over, maybe for the transmission tunnel underneath the center console. So what I've done is I've taken these pieces of paper and I've kind of pre-cut them and pre-formed them, and I have a 3-inch mark, so I gotta go 3 inches down. It's gonna be right about here. We need to overlap with enough space that we can run fasteners into this. We're actually gonna use either self-tapping or piercing sheet metal screws. I prefer the piercing type. They tend to just dig right in a little bit faster. So that's for this door here, and you can see what I've decided is I'm gonna use as much of that original OEM kind of shape as possible. Next, we got this awkward thing. That's this hole here. And we're going to dodge that fastener location, dodge these clips, dodge this, and just kind of get it to mold and form in place. So that means it was like that. And then this was like this. But I have 3-inch mark, means it needs to be 3 inches longer. So for that, we will move that up 3 inches. And there we go. Now I know I can just cut in a diagonal fashion this way to get my extra length to come back down and trace that out. Now cutting this is obviously not as easy as using scissors because it's lead, right? Ooh, or is it? You would think that if you were going to build something out of lead, it would be in metal, it would be difficult to cut. But you know what? Resinex thought of that. And they said, you know, if we make it impossible to use, nobody's going to be able to use it. I guess that's kind of the definition of impossible to use. So we can just simply cut this product out with standard scissors. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to want to use these scissors for much more after this, but maybe I can. You know what? We're going to find out together. You didn't need to watch me cut out a circular shape with scissors, so here's the end result. So we got that there, got that there, got this piece here, and we just got to cut that to trim. Look at that. We can mold that to fit, and now I have a legitimate sound barrier. Let's just trim this off real quick. So I'll be honest, this is my first time working with this, and this is incredible. Like, this is absolutely incredible. You would think I would have known what it was or had worked with it before I trusted myself to use it for this project, but you know, I just know that Resinex products are that good. So I need to trim a little bit around here. So it's as easy as that's the benefit of lead. Originally, or normally, I would build these out of aluminum. And when I build them out of aluminum, it's a little bit more, it's obviously way more difficult to work with. Now, you can do ABS sheets as well. I'm just gonna stick this right there. I think I saw that coming, didn't you? If you could say predict what's about to occur, it would have been that. So, we have piece A, that's awesome. Piece B, it's gonna be just as easy and just as awesome. I hope you understand by this point how important using a template is and how it saves your material and keeps you from wasting anything. Hot tip. Just got to stay on this side of that piece, and voila. Now I have barriers. So the next step here is to fasten it. To fasten it, like I said, I'm gonna find areas that I can fasten, and I'm gonna spend a little bit of time making sure I nail that down, get it just right. As you're coming up with places that you can fasten, you're gonna feel behind. You know, obviously don't hit wires. If I have to tell you that, you shouldn't be doing this. Also, try and limit, like this, there's extra steel that overlaps here. So this steel at this point gets thicker, so I'm not going to try and drive anything through that. I'll try and stay below this. And the reason we have to use screws is because, well, this is heavy, right? It's actually quite heavy. We can't use glues. Don't like try double-sided tape. Like, you need a legit fastener. And use something with a washer. You'll see kind of what I'm going to utilize. Something with a little bit larger fender washer, so that way I don't try to just puncture through this and then it could fall off later. All right, so we have our moldable barrier made. Let me show you this real quick. So what I did, you saw me cut it out with scissors. I just need to make sure I don't cover up that, and I don't go too far with my screws. So as I'm placing this, I got a couple marks, like a mark there with some marker. And I'm going to install my first screw. I'm going to put it right about there. Now I have a pretty short self-tapping sheet metal screw, and I'm going to put my drill driver on self-tapping. All right, that worked out pretty well. Next, we're going to come over here and do another one right about there. Actually, we're going to take it all the way over to here. So this drill has a setting that is specifically for self-tapping screws. So now that I got that held up there, I can take my time, go around, and make sure that I adhere it in a safe location. It actually pushes through the lead pretty easily.
A bit of an awkward transition here because the rest of the video was lost and I was going to speed this process up. Anyway, I used as many fasteners with washers as I needed to hold these barriers in place. And then once they were mounted in place, I made slits for the door unlock and lock cabling, an important step to not forget. It's very easy to mold. After you get it adhered, you can tap it in place. Now our next video is going to be describing these speaker baffles you see here that seal to the door, are non-resonant, and are some of the best baffles that I've ever done. After that, we move to the door card, another very important spot. Thank you so much for watching all this. I hope you're learning and ask any questions as they come up.